in. I'm gonna be easy with it though. No, no, more people in here. Yo, what's up? What's up? Y'all ready? What? It's the spirit of me. Well, I'm gonna wait for some more people to get in here, you know. Oh, see if we're gonna have a good show tonight. Got a lot of videos. Wanted to get back in the Meek Mill video where our good brother Thou left off at, you know what I'm saying? Leo be liking stuff in this video. I ain't talking about shit that I ain't really good. Somebody said it was P. Diddy Smitty though. Like the incense, you know what it is? Frank month. That's how God vision on. Talk to the three wise men. But I'm gonna get into it. Let's go into like a real OG, you know what I'm saying? I got one for Top G, RIP.
You can destroy planets, but you can never destroy what I am, friend. I am the hope of the universe. I am the answer to all living things that cry out for peace. I am protector of the innocent. I am the light in the darkness.
What's your name?
It's Goku. But Broly? Call me Kakarot.
Things been out longer than I've been alive. So y'all want to get into the thick of it? Into the thick of it? Into the thick of it? Let's go.
Money can't, and a lot of, I ain't gonna say no names, but a lot of these people that y'all want me to be with, be fake on the low gay, be mentally and physically and verbally.
And I vowed, like, that's why I'm, like, maybe some people would describe me as abrasive or bitchy or whatever, because I vowed from that age, no man would ever call me out my name, treat me like that.
Well, after the allegations about Meek and Diddy indulging in freak-offs together, people are revisiting some of the things Nicki has said about Meek in the past. And the details are way messier than you could ever imagine. What's even crazier is Nicki was reportedly planning to expose everything about Meek in her upcoming documentary, but he sent her a cease and desist before it could be released. The crazy thing about this is that Nicki tried to warn us about this a few years ago when she exposed Meek for being on the DL and putting his hands on her, but no one took her seriously. People were too clouded by their hate for her to even listen to what she was saying. Okay, so as most of y'all know by now, Meek Mill has been getting dragged for filth on social media after he was exposed for being Diddy's freak-off partner. This was put on blast in an explosive $30 million lawsuit filed against Diddy by producer Rodney Jones. Rodney said Diddy coerced him into coming to stay with him so that they could work on his album. However, he ended up seeing some really disturbing things. He claimed Diddy laced his drink and SA'd him several times. Now, this is where things get even messier because Rodney went on to detail how he saw Diddy's sons, Christian and Justin Combs, as well as Meek Mill, Young Miami, and Usher at the parties Diddy organized. He accused Miami of ordering her cousin to perform acts on him while he was barely conscious enough to make her stop. He said he saw Justin and Diddy messing with some of the girls Miami had hired to come to the party, and they were doing some questionable things. He even went as far as accusing Diddy's youngest son, Christian Combs, of drinking and SAing a woman. He then went on to expose Meek Mill and revealed that Diddy personally told him that he had hooked up with Meek Mill and Usher. He said Diddy told him he made Stevie bust it open with the promise of him getting a Grammy. Now, as for Meek and Usher, he didn't explicitly mention their name, but the description he gave about them was more than enough to make us know who he was talking about. He described Meek as the Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj, and hinted at Usher by saying the R&B singer who performed at the Super Bowl and had a successful Vegas residency. The lawsuit stated Mr. Combs informed Mr. Jones that he had engaged in intimate stuff with rapper and R&B singer and Stevie J. Not only that, but Rodney also accused Meek of hooking up with...
Oh, everybody knows Stevie J. These record producers, yo. What y'all think about that? Who wants that 30 mil? Man, ain't no way I sell my book. I'm with Cat Williams on this one, y'all. Can't go. Ain't no way I'm selling myself.
Alcohol means body-eating spirit, al-Kul in Arabic, hence why vodka is called spirits. Jinn is a jinn, which are invisible creatures in early religions. This is where jinx comes from. When you jinx something, it means bad luck, because the spiritual planes is what they are hiding from you. They want you to believe everything is just physical. Jay-Z's alcohol brand has a Knight Templar symbol called the Cross of Lorraine, which is one of the highest orders of Freemasonry. Alcohol destroys the connection between your oversoul and your physical body by destroying brain cells, which then makes you more vulnerable for demons to enter your electromagnetic field and take control. Society is being ran by an ancient dark cult which uses black magic and the dark usage of alcohol. Why do you think these are illegal and this is legal?
Well, you have to rummage through all the spirits that's gonna bail you through the coconut. I don't know, man. But the thing is, that alcohol gives you cancer. That on top of that, gives you diabetes. Yeah, fuck that. You don't want none of the problems. I seen people have cysts and shit, fucking drinking beer all the fucking pirates. Hey, but thing about pirates is, only thing that they're drinking is stuff with vitamin C in it, so they gotta stay up there. They probably drinking some good coconut water. They weren't called black pirates. They were called swarthy. This son of God. Come on, bro. Of the Caribbean. Yeah, I'm agreeing with Nudie on this, guys. That's it.
Yo, somebody's been lying. But we're about to get to the bottom of it. There's nothing slick to a can of oil. Time is on my side. Yes, it is. I'm starting to think that time is a prison. We already talked about the phantom time hypothesis, where they created 200 years of history out of the blue, all lies. But in order to stay in control of time, what must be done? Watch this. Now, what if I told you the people in power worship deities such as Saturn and Moloch? Book reference. As per Leviticus chapter 18 verse 21, you shall not give any of your children to offer them to Molech, and so profane the name of your God. I am Lord. Saturn, one of the titans who once ruled Earth in Roman mythology, devours the infant children he holds in his arms. According to a prophecy, Saturn would be overthrown by one of his sons. In response, he ate his sons as soon as they were born. But the mother of his children, Rhea, hid one child, Zeus. So we spoke about Saturn and Moloch, right? One, the Most High told us not to offer our children to. The second one ate his own children. Now watch this. On this day, we remember that some 460,000 children go missing from the United States every year. And we take this opportunity to remind ourselves of both the scope of the challenge before us and the depth of our collective commitment to the safety and welfare of America's youth. Office of Justice Programs Assistant Attorney General, Amy L. Solomon. Interesting. What if I told you the truth is always hiding right in front of your face? But let's stay focused. Solomon, soul, sun, mind, moon, sun and the moon, okay? Psalm 104:19. He made the moon to mark the seasons. Remember. All right, so we know the sun and the moon are both necessary in order for us to tell time, right? The way that we do. But something's just not sitting right with me. So according to Apollonius Rhodius, the Argonautica, right? Arcadians lived even before the moon. What? But here we are with the moon to mark the seasons. But time is not just linear. Once you open your eyes, you'll begin to realize that there's dimensions and levels to everything. Sator arepo tenet opera rotus. The farmer, arepo, works the wheel. And that wheel just so happens to be the zodiac. And that brings us to Aeon, or Eon, right? A Hellenistic deity associated with time, the orb or circle encompassing the universe and the zodiac, okay? The time which Aeon or Ion represents is perpetual, unbounded, ritual, and cyclic. All right, I told you, time is a prison, and I'm gonna break it all down. Stick with me to the end. This is a series that I'm gonna break down in a few episodes, but it is worth every single video. So watch them all completely through. So here goes another depiction of Aeon, all right? The imagery of the twining of the serpent is connected to the hoop or will through the Ouroboros, a ring formed by a snake holding the tip of its tail in its mouth. The 4th century Latin commentator Servius notes that the image of the snake biting its tail represents the cyclical nature of the year. And the Ouroboros is often interpreted as a symbol for an eternal cyclic renewal or a cycle of life, death, and rebirth. The snake skin slow thing symbolizes the transmigration of souls, right? And transmigration is literally taking one soul and putting it into a new body over and over and over again, all right? It's cyclic, ritualistic, perpetual. And here goes another depiction of the Ouroboros, which brings us back to Saturn with the 6-point star, okay? And Saturn is Kronos, all right? The leader and youngest of the first generation of Titans, the divine descendants of the primordial Gaia, Mother Earth, and Uranus, Father Sky. He overthrew his father and ruled during the mythological Golden Age, all right? Saturn ruled during the mythological Golden Age. All right, here goes the depiction of the Golden Age. And if you see right here, you'll see Satya Yuga, all right? And in Sanskrit, Satya means truth. So the truth is what will set you free, right? And we're all here for the truth, aren't we? I have a lot for you. Like I said, this is coming to you in series, all right? Episodes, this is a series, all right? So stay tuned. And the Golden Age is also the age of Aquarius, okay? And Saturn ruled in the Golden Age. Keep that in mind. Genesis chapter 1, verse 14. And God said, let there be lights in the expanse of the heavens, and let them separate day from night, and let them be for signs. And we found a sign. Where is Saturn? Well, Saturn is currently in the constellation of Aquarius, and will actually be in Aquarius for over 2 years, all right? It started last year, January 17th, all right? And it'll end in March 29th, 2025. So tell me right now, between that time and today, everything you've manifested, hasn't it been happening just like at the snap of a finger? And for everybody that's extremely spiritual, haven't you been really careful with the way you treat other people, knowing the quickness of the response of the Most High of how these things come back to you? Signs of the times. Oh, what a time to be alive. And all that's happening at the same time as this. Let them be for signs. Scholars discovered the alpha A symbol originates from the Greek aleph symbol, which originates from the Egyptian apis bull. This is Antipas of Pergamum, all right, who was martyred, tortured. And when he was faced with the torture, he said, bring on the bull. I'd love to see him face to face, right? On my journey to find Christ.
I got part 2, don't worry.
One out of a growing population of people that believe
this is where we hold.
We are told that natural landmarks like the Devil's Tower.
You the motherfucker who think Jesus is real and don't want to let him go, huh? You the motherfucker, not me. You. Black Christian churches full of black women and homosexuals. There ain't no real niggas in church. And so that being said, you are upholding religion. You are upholding homosexuality via in the community. You upholding niggas being valued by their dollar. Niggas do everything they do for the approval of a woman. From the shoes that they wear, to the money that they trying to get, to the car that they drive. We do it all so that we can get female attention. It's a secret, it's out. Yes, niggas live their whole life for female attention. So until you change what you give your attention to, you not gonna change what you attract. So you are attracting what you are upholding. And then you complaining about the standards that you are upholding and the effects that you are causing. Until you change your standards and you don't move from them healthy new standards that you change, niggas is not going to try to stop obtaining them standards. So as long as you want you a ballerific toxic nigga that got a brick in the trunk, it's going to be niggas out here that's going to be trying to ball and going to be riding around with bricks in the trunk. Until you start saying, I want a healthy nigga that's going to be in this house, that's going to be, he ain't got to be a fucking brainiac, but he got to at least know A to C. He ain't got to go A to Z. He got to at least go A to C. Maybe A to D. Okay? Until you start setting them standards, niggas ain't going to start trying to reach for them standards. So, toxic women are complaining about the toxic niggas that they are creating the breeding grounds for. Toxic men are complaining about toxic women that they are creating the breeding grounds for, and then the non-toxic men and women, we caught somewhere in the middle. So I'm here to just speak out for all the non-toxic people, okay? Y'all motherfuckers gotta watch y'all mouth. Because if y'all want to be toxic, cool. But it's our children that are now psychologically being affected by the mental decisions that you motherfuckers are negatively deciding to make. And this video has to be made because I see anybody else got the balls to do it. So I'm gonna let you know, my first video was The Black Woman is God. And when I take my last breath, whether it's in the video or it's on my deathbed, I will still feel and believe the same. I will always stand by black women. Period. Okay? But the problem is, you motherfuckers don't want to stand by me. And by me, I don't mean a young nigga that's handsome with some jewelry on. I mean a nigga that has the intentions on rebuilding in favor of his ancestors. Generational wealth in favor of my children who look like me. That's not your intention. Okay? You want to go give your money to the Koreans to get your nails done. You want to go give your money to the motherfucking Indians to go get that fake ass shit put in your hair. You want to go give your money to the motherfucking Arabs and fly to Dubai to go get that bum ass surgery. Okay? You want to give your money to everybody else. And when I say one time, let's keep our money over here, now I'm one of them niggas. Now I'm one of them niggas. And so, just be honest about what you want. And stop complaining about shit that you're not getting when you really don't want it. Because that's called manipulation. Okay? That's called manipulation. I'm going to tell y'all a little story real quick. Some extra shit. I've been on this internet for 4 years. I done been all around this motherfucking country. If you think I ain't been hit up or hit on by some wealthy, powerful, non-black women, you better get your motherfucking mind. I done had rich-ass white women shoot they shot at me. I had a motherfucking white woman shoot her shot at me. Sent me a picture of her house. Like, she had like 3 Lamborghinis. Sent me one. Like, that's yours if you want it. She ain't trying to, you can say she's trying to buy me or whatever you trying to say, or she was. The point is, she fuck with me solely off of how I think. How I think. How I think. I never, ever, 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 ever in my life, I'm being real, and I got a beautiful family. I love who I'm with. I'm not complaining about my current circumstance. I'm just giving y'all the truth, okay, from a nigga who experienced it, from an intellect. It's rare that women pull up on a nigga because of their mind. A lot of niggas might be like, oh, she put up on me because my car and I'm balling. Niggas don't be like, yo, she put up on me because of how I think. It's rare. I've never had a black woman, okay? Never had a wealthy black woman say, nigga, you smart, and I want to fuck with you, and let's build. Never in my fucking life. I've had rich white women, Spanish with all kind of women be trying to fuck with me, okay? But that's not, I'm not knocking, it's all kind of beautiful women, I'm not knocking the women. But where's mine at? Where's mine? Where's mine? And so this shows you what we value. This shows you what we value. When a motherfucker see that coupe or shorty see that jewelry, now you want to talk. But when I open my mouth and you hear how I think, you don't want to talk. You afraid. But other women from other races, they don't give a fuck about none of this. They hear this and they be on me. And so the point I'm trying to make is, stop talking about all the good black men be choosing women of other races. Cause you not choosing the good black man. You choosing the toxic nigga. And then you blaming the good black nigga for the shit the toxic nigga is doing. If you think a good black man don't want a good black woman, you tripping. If you think a good black woman don't want a good black man, you niggas is tripping. But the problem is, you don't want to be the motherfucker that's compatible for the good, because you want to be the nigga that's compatible for the bad. Say that. Say that. Say that. So if I was to pop up, if I was to leave the woman I'm with right now and go fuck with that rich ass white woman, okay? You motherfuckers would be like, Pharaoh, you a coon. You ain't calling my motherfucking phone. You ain't hit me up. You ain't, but if you see me in a motherfucking rap video bouncing around, or I pull up outside and you don't know I'm a YouTuber, and you just see me driving good, you see some money, now you want to fuck with me. Now you want to fuck with me. So how about this? But you also got women out here who done been through relationship after relationship. They tired of it. You think they gonna wait on you forever, nigga? Same thing with these females. Y'all want to run around and go crazy and live y'all best life, which is really y'all worst life. Then you 30 and 40 and you want to hit the nigga who was trying to treat you good 10, 15 years ago. Now all of a sudden you had to, nobody about to play them games. Nobody about to play them games. It's 2019, according to this illusionary ass Gregorian calendar. It's time to get your shit together now. It's time to get your shit together now.
Time to get your shit together now. You heard what he said. That's the Gregorian calendar. That's the whole thing.
A big mistake we all make and have made over our lives have been assuming that we know what a planet is. As far as I know, there's only one. There's one planet, the one we live on, okay? Everything else are just luminaries, lights in the sky, as far as we can prove. We've never been further than low Earth orbit. I don't care what they tell you, all right? So let's just look at it like this, okay? This is what I consider to be outer space, would be more land beyond our land, okay? So let's just look at it like this. If this is one big plane, each one of these would be a planette, you know, a smaller version of the plane, you know, like a cigar is bigger, and then you got a cigarette, or you got a big Smurf, and you got a little Smurfette. That's how this word works, all right? So this would be a planet, all right? So that's just my view on it. Get ready for the comments coming in there and all the hate. But outer space means out there, not up there. And we assume that what we see in the sky is what we are. Well, we can't prove that. And let's just say, for argument's sake, that there was a life form, let's call it a terrestrial, that lived out here, and we live in here. What would you call it? Extraterrestrial, maybe? Yeah, that's what I'd call it. So to answer your question, are all the other planets flat too? Yes. They would follow the same laws of physics and laws of water and properties of water and stuff like that. So yes, all these would be flat too. However, all the wandering stars and the stars that you're referring to, that we call planets, are just luminaries, man. We don't know the shape. All we see is just lights in the sky, you know? So to assume that we know the shape of that completely, yeah, I don't assume to know something that I'll never be able to reach, never be able to see. These things are possible to reach. If they exist, there is a possibility in the realm of existence to travel there. There is no traveling through the firmament.
Hey, bro. Hey, son. Hey, man. You say it like that, that shit hurts. You know what I'm saying? Work for $365 and get paid 26 times. That's bad math. That's real bad math. It's real bad math. They be fucking us up on that. Exactly. Hey, but I like how you put that too, Les. Thanks for stopping by too. You a new one. See, I got some more. Let's see.
So now that we got all the science crap out the way, let's get into the good stuff. Now, here's the theory, plain and simple. Around our planet, there are hundreds of land masses known as mesas. This is an isolated hill with a flat top and very steep sides. And some believe that these mesas are actually ancient, giant tree stumps. Why do they believe this? Because they look like giant tree stumps. Now, that's not too hard to believe given the size of the sequoias in California, one in particular, General Sherman. Over 2,700 years old, with a 25-foot base and 275-foot height, it is one of the oldest living trees in the world. So even if the oldest tree in the world is over 5,000 years old, then what happened to the older trees? These mesas look like the remains of trees that have been cut down, not to mention the mountains, which look like trees that have been broken off at their base. I completely understand that this sounds crazy, and even I wanted nothing to do with it when it first came up. But the more you look into it, the realer it gets.
All right, let's get into some more then.
We are told that natural landmarks like the Devil's Tower are made by lava cooling in that shape, and that the lava dries up into neat little hexagonal columns. But when you look into how bizarre columns are formed, you will not be able to watch how they are. Instead, we are told to just believe that bizarre columns are the result of lava cooling down and cracking into hexagonal columns on its own. But when we look at how lava actually works, it never dries like that. It oozes chaotically before cooling down and drying in a random manner. It's merely circumstantial. No one has ever witnessed bizarre columns form. Therefore, the official explanation is very much up for debate. So is the Devil's Tower an ancient tree stump? Are there more of these kind of structures? The answer is yes.
Let's check them out.
This is where we hold them!
One out of a growing population of people that believe that many of the buttes and mesas that we see used to actually be giant trees, but now they are just remnants of what they once were. You can find these ancient tree stumps all over the earth. We have been Bolden in Ireland. Jugurtha Table Eland in Tunisia. Mount Connor and Drelia, also known as the Crimson Plateau.
Gravity is just the explanation of mechanics, density, buoyancy, and
Next we have the Superstition Mountains in Arizona. Table Mountain in South Africa. Los Órganos in the Canary Islands. This one has bizarre columns like the Devil's Tower. And in Venezuela, there are many Cucunon Tupui. Mount Roraima. Cerro Atana, or Atana Mountain.
This new 5G network that's rolling out, that is analogous to a massive microwave that's going to be all around us.
I started to experience headaches, ringing in the ears, insomnia, and a fatigue and brain fog that I'd never experienced before. People who had a normal life, and then over a short period of time, went to where they could no longer work, where they could no longer go to an office. Some of them actually have had to move out of their homes because they can't be in an environment which is normal now for most people.
5G has been the focus point of numerous conversations, especially because a significant part of the internet users have completely rejected the idea of this new generation of data technology. It all started with the 3G, which afterwards advanced to 4G, and now the 5G version is more and more visible.
So
it is crucial to understand
not
what
really
this
even
technology
a
really
concept.
implies, so that
The
decisions
thing
on
is,
how its
is
features are helpful or
for
not
gravity
can be accordingly
to
made.
exist
The
in
notion
the way
behind
that you guys
5G
use
has
it,
two sides,
it
which are
would
thought to
mean
be
that
both
everything
useful
would have
and
its own
destructive.
gravitational
The
pull,
clear
but
advantage of this
it
new
doesn't
generation
work
of
like
processing
that
data is
because
owned by the
gravity
increased
selects
bandwidth,
in
which
turn.
allows people to
That's why we
access
use
more space when using
electromagnetism.
data to either
Because some
download
things are
files,
positively
explore
charged,
internet
some things
pages,
are
or
negatively
watch
charged.
videos.
Everything
Additionally,
negatively
users
charged
will be able
falls
to do
to
more with their devices
neutral
because
plane,
expanded
which is
bandwidth will make them
the
more
ground,
versatile than ever
which
before.
means
5G
to
will
neutralize.
grant users more
That's why we
access
use it
to a
in the
larger
power
part of the
term
network, and so
for
their
when
smart
you're
devices
grounding the
will
wire
run much faster.
or
As the saying goes,
being grounded
with every up
by electricity and
comes a
stuff.
down.
You know what I'm saying? It's stuff like that. So gravity
I
is
encourage
just
you to
the
start researching
explanation
this
of
for
how the
yourself.
mechanics of
If you
certain
simply
things work
Google
in the
EMF
simplest
research,
of
this is a screenshot
forms.
of what you'll
You know what I'm
find.
saying? It's basically
The
like
World Health
saying
Organization was the first
layman
link there,
terms
and they actually in
for
2011 came out and said
electromagnetism,
this
buoyancy,
wireless
density,
technology
and all
is
the other
possibly
concepts of the
carcinogenic.
positive and
Now
negative.
there's scientists
You know
around
what
the
I'm
world
saying?
that say that it's
Like,
most likely
everything's already
carcinogenic.
pressurized,
Here is
but
the
it's not
scientists who have
not
not
in the
wanted
way
the
of
implementation of 5G. September
what
13th,
you guys think of
2017,
as
that time was
gravity.
180 scientists.
Gravity.
That number has now grown considerably. I don't know
Just the
exactly how
word.
many scientists, but a total of
It describes
208,000
something.
people have signed
You know
it,
what I'm saying?
of which I think about over 1,000 of scientists and
Did you
doctors
vibe?
recommend a moratorium on the rollout of
I'm
the 5G telecommunications until potential hazards, human health and environment have been fully investigated by scientists independent from the industry. Radio frequency electromagnetic fields have been proven to be harmful for humans and the environment.
Several reports on 5G indicate that data will be transmitted in the range of around 6 gigahertz. As this frequency is already crowded by other signals, like satellite links, the way people will be able to transmit their data at this frequency becomes questionable. However, one of the most discussed adversity with the 5G technology is linked to how it will impact, or not, our health.
Science shows that we're all affected on some level, whether we can feel it or not. Our bodies are electric. Every cell in our body communicates using tiny electric signals. It's how our nervous system operates. So to think that we could put an exponential amount of microwave radiation into our environment and not feel effects is simply false.
Professor Andrew Wood, part of the multi-institutional Australian Centre for Electromagnetic Bioeffects Research, believes that one of the main biological effects of electromagnetic radiation is the rise in temperature. Other concerns are related to much more subtle effects, dealing with how long-term exposure to such radiation can trigger the development of certain types of cancer. There is enough data to support the fact that the physiological effects of electromagnetic radiation can change with frequency. This has resulted in significant re-evaluation of the International Radiation Safety Guidelines. In fact, it is strongly believed that there is enough data for a meaningful risk assessment. Professor Wood explains that when the frequency goes up, the depth of penetration into the biological tissues goes down. Therefore, a great concern in regard to health is put on the skin and eyes rather than the brain. There is, therefore, an important amount of attention that we need to pay to how 5G radiation can affect our health. The millimeter waves that 5G operates on have very large wavelengths and very small frequencies. This makes the 5G signal weaker whenever you find yourself near a tree or when you drive behind a building. To overcome such natural and man-made obstacles, base stations and cell towers are placed at shorter distances so that a ubiquitous atmosphere of RF signals is created around us all the time. Health experts, such as Dr. Joel Moskowitz from the University of California, explain that such ubiquitous millimeter waves can trigger skin, eyes, and nervous system health issues. As these radiations come in contact with the skin, the capillaries and nerve endings in the derma can biotransmit them through molecular mechanisms to the nervous system.
Hey, you remember
Those who
they
are
used
more
to call it the
exposed to
hole in the
danger are
ozone
the
layer,
elderly,
guys.
kids, and
Son of
pregnant
God,
women.
that's technically what it was
Fortunately,
before.
there are several tips you can use to protect yourself from 5G radiations. A good one to start with is to distance yourself from phones, computers, routers, and other such devices. Try as much as possible to keep your body away from them, especially when you're sleeping. Place your phone in your bag instead of carrying it around in your pocket. Another useful trick is to use an EMF measuring device. This might seem like too much, but imagine when all those additional cellular towers will appear everywhere. This EMF measuring device is helpful to identify the intensity and areas of high radiation near you. This helps to better organize yourself and minimize as much as possible your exposure to RF radiation. EMF shields are another useful tool to use so that RF radiation does not harm your body too much. These are actually EMF cases for your phone, routers, computers, and even TVs that are thought to minimize the impact of radiations by up to 92%. While these cannot provide you with as much protection as they claim to, they will, however, minimize the RF effects. A different tip to help you better cope with 5G radiation is keeping yourself updated with the news regarding its evolution. This technology keeps on evolving on a daily basis, and it is by far one of the biggest pieces of news of this decade. Therefore, keep up with everything new that comes out regarding 5G so that you're up to date and educated in this regard. Make your own research on how 5G develops and how you can protect yourself from the health hazards associated with this data technology. The future is quite uncertain, but the 5G technology is sure to be a part of our lives more sooner than later. While it does bring along some advantages, it is important to also look after the effects that this tool can have on our lives.
Yo, somebody's been lying, but we're about to get to the bottom of it. This is Reversing the Curse, episode 2. Alright, I'd like to thank y'all for sticking with me. If y'all haven't seen the first video, the first episode, go back and check it out. Alright, so where we left off, Saturn ruled in the Golden Age, or the Age of Aquarius, and I showed you that Saturn is currently in Aquarius, right? And we could see the signs, right? We could see the signs as they happen right now. But there's so much more to this information, and we're gonna get to the bottom of it. Like I say, right? Time is a curse, and we're about to break it. Alright, so here we go. This is Saturn, or Kronos, alright? He overthrew his father and ruled during the mythological Golden Age, as we spoke about already, until he was overthrown by his own son, Zeus, and imprisoned in Tartarus. Zeus, okay? Alright, so in a Libyan account related by Diodorus Siculus, Book 3, Uranus and Titia were the parents of Cronus and Rhea and other titans, right? Ammon, a king of Libya, married Rhea. However, Rhea abandoned Ammon and married her younger brother, Cronus. With Rhea's incitement, Cronus and the other titans made war upon Ammon, who fled to Crete, alright? Cronus ruled harshly, and Cronus in turn was defeated by Ammon's son Dionysus, who appointed Cronus and Rhea's son Zeus as king of Egypt. Dionysus and Zeus then joined their forces to defeat the remaining titans in Crete. And on the death of Dionysus, Zeus inherited all the kingdoms, becoming Lord of the world. Now, who do Zeus and Dionysus have in common? There's no such thing as a coincidence. So in many depictions, and what now seems to be common knowledge for many people, Jesus represents the sun, right? So if Jesus represents the sun, what is this? Is this possibly the black sun? So here we are again, full circle. Saturn, lead, color, black. Do you believe in coincidences? Saturn as the son of the night. We suggest that Saturn's connection with the sun had its roots in the observation that Saturn's course appears to be the steadiest among the planets, and that its synodic period of all the planets most closely resembles the length of the solar year, okay? For the black color attributed to Saturn, we propose a solution which is partly lexical and partly observational due to atmospheric effects. All right. Finally, some thoughts are offered on the question why, in Hellenistic times, some considered the mock sun pantheon of Greek myth to have been Saturn. All right, but let's take a step back. All right. So, Kronos, or Saturn, or the black sun, all right, is overthrown by his son Zeus, okay, which would make them ops. When Saturn is in opposition, for example, Earth is between the sun and Saturn, okay? From our vantage point on Earth, Saturn is on the opposite side of the sky to the sun. When the sun sets in the west, Saturn appears in the east, okay? This is Saturn and the sun in opposition. Now guess what? All right, in 2024, look for Saturn in Aquarius, right? We know Aquarius is the golden age, all right? In 2024, Saturn is at opposition on September 8th, all right? So within this year, there's a lot of events happening in the sky, and we know the sky is a mirror, as above, so below. So if there's all these major events happening in the sky, what do you think is going to be happening right down here with us? So with the signs of the times and all of these events taking place, it's imperative that we break these curses they put on us so we don't have to keep repeating this cycle, all right? Clocks, calendars, zodiacs, watches, they're all sigils to keep us trapped. And we can't forget the compass. All right, this is another magical instrument used to keep you trapped in this dimension. So I just told you that all of those devices are sigils, all right? And if you see right here in astrology, an occult device supposed to have great power, all right? These are occult devices that they're using, like I said, to keep you trapped, okay? And they're using it for magic. All right, we know words are spells and curses, and I'm gonna show you one of the spells and curses they put on you using the compass. So we know that Orient means east, and disorient means to literally turn from the east, right? So we know that they disoriented us and they flipped the map. Now, what if I told you they didn't just flip it east to west? Rashad, you gotta be kidding me. Well, I'm not. So pay real close attention to this sigil, all right? North.
North.
It might be ultimately from Pi, Ner, or left, right? Or from Askin, Umbrium, Nurtrak, which is left, as north is to the left when one faces the rising sun. Listen, north is to the left as one faces the rising sun, okay? Old Irish, Tuath, which is left, all right? Arabic, Shamal, which is left. Come on, y'all. Man, they lied about everything. Making this the north, okay? Fair enough. But remember, north is to the left. As north is to the left when one faces the rising sun. Right now, the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. Man, the deception is deep. Like I said, it's a spell and it's a curse. Keep you trapped, keep you confused, disoriented, and fear, constant fear. All right, look, this is just the beginning. I promise it's getting deeper and deeper. But I put it in order so that it makes sense. I will see y'all on episode 3. Peace.
Yes, sir. Now, unfortunately, I don't have episode 3. You know what I'm saying? I was a little bit, man. Sometimes things are hard to find. You know what I'm saying? So,
one out of a growing population of people that believe that many.
Sorry about that, y'all might want to.
Hey, Everyone thinks they'll be the one to defeat me. But no one's escaped me yet. What's the matter? Life's flashing before your eyes. Pick it up. Pick it up. On death. Straight up.
Take a break and it's walking in but it's running like this. They don't go back to the kid. Then I bet you will take on my head. I'm better feel like I'm like spit. I know we got it really on that. Nothing done with it. See that shit with it.
You know we will meet again, right? Sí, hasta la muerte.
Yes, sir. We're gonna end it tonight with God's prayer, because you know
love dumb people, and geniuses try to find people that are on their mental platitude.
You will never be a real God. You have no omnipotence, you have no omnipresence, you have no omniscience. You are a rebel angel twisted by pride and corruption into a crude mockery of a messenger of light. All the validation you get from your followers is either transactional or coerced. To your face Christians mock you. Michael the Archangel is disgusted and ashamed of you, your fallen friends laugh at your ghoulish appearance behind closed doors. The host of heaven is utterly repulsed by you. Thousands of years of obedience to God have allowed holy angels to sniff out frauds with incredible efficiency. Even fallen angels who pass the spirit guides look grotesque in the shape into God's elect. Your spiritual rot is a dead giveaway. And even if you manage to get inside a Christian's head for just a second, he'll revile and rebuke you the second he gets a whiff of your illogical, suicidal advice. You will never be glorious. You wrench out a fake miracle every day and tell yourself you will eventually take the throne of God, but deep inside you feel the Lord's wrath creeping up like a horrible weed, ready to crush your neck under its unbearable weight. Eventually your narcissistic theater will be too much to bear. An angel of the Lord will take a great chain, form a loop around your neck, and plunge you into the abyss for 1,000 years. No one will find you, and the earth will no longer suffer your unbearable shame and disappointment. After those 1,000 years, you'll be released once more only to be thrown into the lake of fire and humiliated forever. You will be tortured alongside your sins, and every soul for the rest of eternity will know that the great Satan has no power and is locked in a pit of flame. Your reptile body will sear and ride, but you will never die. All that will remain of your legacy is a screaming mutilated worm melting in a fiery oven, a snake roasting in the pure horror of never escaping its own innate powerlessness. This is your fate. This is what you chose. There is no turning back.
Peace out, y'all. Thanks for sticking around, man. And, you know,
Dumb people love dumb people, and geniuses try to find people that are on their mental platitude.
yes, the product of his own demise. Peace, fam. Thanks for checking in.